distracted you.
Oh, man.
I distracted you from this Quinn Fiddlesticks. They must be trolling us.
I mean, it's Miami. They're up 2-0. They're just limit testing at this point, right?
Yes, they are.
I mean, hold on. Maybe it's not too troll. Hold on.
No, like...
Because the Quinn is a really strong counter matchup into the Renekton. It's probably why they picked it.
No, definitely. And that it's a Chinese pro thing that we've seen Bin and Zoom do. So when Renekton gets first pick, they're practicing. Can Lucent really abuse a really great Renekton player? Because we know that chicken delivery is exactly that. And we saw that Samira getting locked in response to a Caitlyn pick. The Lulu comes in for a Luros. We've seen that multiple times. Answered by a Blitzcrank. So Samira, Blitzcrank. Do you have any experience with Samira? What are your thoughts on the champion going into this game?
Well, I know Samira, depending on how early they drafted it. Well, actually, no, I take that back.
I think it was 4.
One thing I've noticed when I was playing in competitive with the Samira pick is that she hard counters Ornn. Like you cannot play Ornn into Samira.
Yeah.
Because you will never get an engage off. Projectiles, right. And I know that Samira's passive is... I don't know exactly how it works, but apparently she works off of other people's CC. If someone gets CC, she knocks them up with her passive or something. I don't know what specifically. I haven't played the champion myself quite yet,
right?
Except for one jungle Samira game where I hard fed. But we don't talk about that.
And on top of Samira, I think it needs one more nerf. I think it's actually getting one. And this is Game 3 of Day 1, Round 1 of the League Saturday Series playoffs, where the winner of this series is in the money. Keck, this is a money game for Miami.
And they're looking for a cheesy invade. Unfortunately, Laser King is ready for this. Drops the ward in the tri-bush, sees that they're trying to go for this cheesy invade. Unfortunately, Blitzcrank won't find anybody.
You know what I haven't seen out of Miami, and we've seen almost everything out of this team? Level 1 late invade on the red buff, the enemy red buff, when you are this red side here. We see a lot of pro teams do it. They draft things like Lilia, who can go kill Raptors, get level 2 and then win the fight. But even if you don't have a Lilia, say you have a Nidalee or Graves or something, you can still late invade that red buff. And it's another split map type situation like we saw in Game 1. I have yet to see Miami late invade that red buff. So something to look out for in the future. I wonder if that's in their wheelhouse. I'm sure it is. But we got some bush hook.
Some cheese shenanigans. Cleave with the great Blitzcrank pull. But forces the flash onto Aileros.
And actually, not a necessary flash whatsoever. That's pretty much the brunt of their combos, getting yanked into the Samira. I think if you just run away, you get maybe one more Samira auto, maybe an auto Q or something, but you'd be able to regen there. So wasted flash by Aileros there. Just got completely bamboozled and spooked.
Yeah, really crazy. Just Blitzcrank cheese, Blitzcrank shenanigans. That's just how you gotta play it. Oh, and the level 2 advantage coming in from Luigi Mesh in a pause.
Troy said, Bug, I don't get hit by anything. Miami University, they're digging so deep into their champion pools. This is like maybe plan like J for them, these 5 champions. And we'll have to see if they can pull out a dub here as... Yeah, they were able to stand up to the set, but...
And it would seem like Troy won, and is finally going to accept the fact that he did just... get level 2'd on. That's why he got engaged on, so no bug there.
And I sort of dislike the Evelyn pathing. She's pathing top to bot, right? And Fiddlesticks first on the map.
We see a gank bot lane, but the bot lane from Miami is not level 2 yet. And so Fiddlesticks is just going to have to walk away.
So Fiddle did his full blue side into bot gank, and Evelyn did her full blue side into her red side now. So Evelyn will come out ahead in farm, and Fiddle's looking for another visit.
I'm looking at this mid lane right now. Unfortunately, it's going to get... Galio's got that 6th sense, so he's going to dodge that gank here.
Yeah, and it's a bit of a transition gank. He's now going to go into his own red side, and Evelyn first to full clear. She should be able to get that bot crab, and maybe could give a look to the bot lane. The only thing is, your Evelyn is pathing top to bot into your Kate Lulu lane when you could be pathing bot to top into the Renekton lane. Evelyn needs to be with the Renekton. You can't itemize against this. If you buy Mercs, Renekton's gonna eat you. If you buy Tabbies, you're gonna get chain CC'd for too long, you're gonna die. This Evelyn Renekton duo can abuse Lucent's Quinn, even with cleanse. I need to see activity from Evelyn with her Renekton, but for now, she's gonna go for this bot crab. which she's perfectly happy to full clear in a bot crab. Don't get me wrong. And she is ahead in farm, and we'll be able to 2v2 here if that is the case.
And Luigi Mesh is going to actually use the Justice Punch into Troy 1. And because he gets feared, he's unable to flash out. Great first blood secure going over to Miami University.
Yeah, man, I'm a big D with the flash fear. There's no counterplay, and Set doing a great job holding his W that whole time. Waiting for the fear guarantees the W, and that's how you 2v2. It's unwinnable for the Evelyn Galio, especially since Evelyn was a bit late. Because of the reliability of just clicking on someone, they are now feared. Guarantees the W. Great job by Miami.
And here we see Chicken Delivery on this Renekton looking to be aggressive, but because Quinn just can counter and just use the vault every single time Renekton tries to be aggressive, he can't stick to the Quinn. This is why Quinn is an answer into Renekton.
Yeah, and I don't play either of these champions top, so I'm not really sure exactly how this matchup goes. But we do see 2v2 top and a 1v1 in the mid. Evelyn is with the Renekton and possibly tower diving, but Mayama Big D is there to look. Here's the 2v2.
And he's just going to take some Q damage from the Evelyn, but he doesn't care. He's sucking Krugs, getting himself some HP.
And there's no better time to be taking Krugs, am I right? Evelyn's looking to go and try brush. Maybe I'll counter jungle Krugs while you stack a wave and then we'll die, but Fiddle's already there. Oh.
And there's looking like another 1v1 here in the mid lane, and Troy 1 flashes forward, probably not necessary, but the second Q from his passive is going to be enough damage to finish off the Galio.
Luigi Mesh. Dancing with the devil with that.
Oh, but here comes the Renekton. He's going to use the showstopper, bringing Renekton back into the turret, but he's still has the level 6 advantage. I don't know if Chicken Delivery wants to fight this. Remember, Troy 1 has the Haymaker. Go back, Director Tool, please. And Renekton's going to flash forward. He gets the kill, gets level 6.
Chicken Delivery wins the melee duel. The brawlers in the mid lane did not even have ultimate, but that's probably why Troy took the fight. It looked to me like with fleet footwork and Ghost, Troy was going to be able to kite in and out of the Renekton and win that.
And another thing is the bot lane of York University are just too far up without vision. There's a pink ward in that river bush. And Laser King, unfortunately, is going to get taken down here. Blitzcrank hook onto the flashless Lulu. Great kills going over to Miami University. Good tracking of the timers. Ayla's flash was not up for a good 10 seconds there.
And this Fiddle has, as we see the replay here, so Renekton wins that fight, but you're crashing the bot wave. So York University needs to kill this wave and get it in. This is their most vulnerable time. If Blitzcrank decides to set them up for a gank, it's the time window. So we see Fiddle is in the blue quadrant in this replay. Oh, the minimap is not synced to the replay. But yeah, if you're looking to crash the wave, you need to be aware of jungle ganks. And I think if a Fiddle can gank you pre-6, you are making major awareness errors because his lack of tools. He was flashless. It was the Blitzcrank flash setting up a walk up to you, silence, fear you. That gank is not potent enough to get most really high-level bot lanes that are extremely aware of what's going on in the game.
Especially since the Lulu is flashless. She needs to be respectful of that engage. And now, here we go, like Zerking is also himself is going to be losing his flash as well. So this is just another lane that Fiddlesticks is going to look to constantly engage himself onto. And here we're looking for more cheese. Blitzcrank is going to use the Hex Flash. He Hex Flashes into the bush so that they can't see him. Runs right at Caitlyn, going for the knockup, but Caitlyn here's with using her range, finding a lot of damage. And here, looking at the mid lane, Troy 1 is looking for an engage onto Luigi Mash. Luigi Mash uses the taunt to force and slow Troy 1, preventing damage from coming through. But there's just aggression in the mid and bot lane. There's an aggression all over the map. In here, like you said in Champ Select, Evelyn is now on that top side. They're looking to make that 2v2 play onto Lucent. Lucent doesn't have cleanse. And so here comes the stun. Okay. Lucent's going to have to force the flash to get out.
His cleanse was down. If that charm hits, he dies 1,000%. So
right.
Now he's cleanseless and flashless. You need to come back, Flare Pyre. You need sack everything else. What's most important is denying Quinn of minions, getting plates, getting Renekton a kill would be great, getting Herald. Just commit to the top side.
Oh, and Troy 1 is going to pull in the Galio, looking for more damage here. Hex Slash again from Cleave, gets the hook onto Lulu, but Lulu has flash this time. Does she need to use it? She's going to burn it. But lots of damage. The Samira ultimate doing massive damage as well. Fiddlesticks with the Crow Storm going in, silences and is draining the kill onto Lulu, but pops the stopwatch. Will he be able to get out if Blitzcrank walks up there and
He
takes the
did.
tower?
Blitz went and took aggro. Look at his health.
Oh, very well played from Miami here to turret dive that. Oh, and like we see here in that interaction, even though Quinn did use the vault, the stun was still able to go off. Mid lane, more action as well. Troy 1 taking some damage onto Luigi Match, but unfortunately, here comes Evelyn.
He has Merc Treads. He does not care about these two, and that's why Set is so good here. You're in a double AP, you rush Merc Treads. He already has a Null Magic Mantle on top of it. He's not afraid of that Evelyn whatsoever.
And that's just the power of Set mid, especially into a team that drafted double jungle mid AP.
Exactly, so don't gank your AP lane. Use your Galio to go somewhere else. Fight somebody who can't afford to buy Merc Treads, like Quinn.
And so here we see it looking like Galio is looking to make a play up in the top lane. Ultimate is up. Set is resetting right now, but if he walks through here, oh, he's just going for a River Bush. They see that the Set has chosen to go for the reset.
Fiddle's going to get his red, get Krugs, and then have a presence in top lane while...
Chicken Delivery using the Cutlass to deny the Lucent recall, but he's going to use the Ruthless Predator and stun a minion.
Yep, you know, when you're an angry crocodile, sometimes you just want to stun something, and you can't ever get your hands on Quinn, so take your anger out on the minion.
Oh, but here's Mayama Big T. He's up here in the top lane. They know that he burnt the Cutlass. He's going to have to force the dominance early to give himself some extra rage, but the Crowstorm comes through. Fear into the knockback. Chicken Delivery has no way to outplay this.
And Mayama Big D is walking up to people and channeling Crowstorm right in front of them while they have no way to get out. It's kind of sad. Yeah, Chicken Delivery flashless there. And we saw him greed for that push. It's such an awkward lane state. Oh.
Oh, and here we see some bot lane action. Troy 1 is well here. He's going to pop the Showstopper, gets the knock onto Laser King. The ultimate from the Wild Growth is not going to do anything to keep Laser King alive, but Flare Pass able to get the return kill onto IBN's Samira here. So 1-for-1 in the bot lane, even though the jungler was committed to the top side, but Galio Luigi Mash just didn't seem to move.
And in hindsight, as the observer, a Polymorph...
Oh, and a Cleave gets a hook onto Flare Pie here. Polymorph coming in from the Lulu, but the tenacity from Set. The Polymorph means nothing. Flash coming through to dodge the Galio Justice Punch.
No respect for Cleave's hook.
And he's just running right back at Luigi Mash. Here comes the Caitlyn ultimate. He's going to have to pop the Haymaker to give himself the shield to mitigate the damage.
Lots of misplays here in the bot lane for York University. That's all I'm going to say. Which is easy for us to say. We have full information, full vision. We're not in the heat of the moment, and we're not getting pressured by this Miami team. But that was just not properly played, and Miami up 5K.
Yep.
And I think Evelyn needs to use Drake. So Miami wants Drakes, right? Miami always gets Drakes. Okay. Give up Drake. When Drake goes down, you better be on the top half of the map and go kill Quinn.
Right, because Renekton is your shining point. This is the champion that you want to get you through that early mid game. The champion that gets you to that late game team fighting. So you.
Our first match of the day will be our consolation match between York University Esports and Kent State University Esports.
And has done really good on that champion. So when York University lock in Set early, it means a lot for the success of their loaded onto the Rift for Games 3 between Kent State University and Bar Esports in our best of 5. Horn is up in 4 with TP, so Miami's still comfortable enough to start this Drake. They need
and here, like I said again, Cassiopeia out by herself. Just
Kenny?
Reckless going in, and here comes the Pop Blossom. Alistar's gonna save the enemy!
Wait a second. Double TP. Everybody's showing up to this Drake fight. This is huge. Eyes on Lucian. Karth is here. Ornn ulti coming. It goes over to red team.
Not gonna be able to do much. This
Big
might
taunt.
just be the kills here. Ultimate from Samira is actually doing so much damage, even though she's not being able to move her champion around. Triple kill coming in for Samira. This might be the quadra kill. Quadra kill on Samira, looking for the penta. Going after Laser King. Is this the penta kill?
Penta kill!
And here we have it in the game 3 of Miami versus.
Hello and welcome to League Saturday Series Season 2 Qualifiers Day 1. I'm your host, Holy Boxers, and I'm here as always at the beautiful 1Life2Play Gaming and Esports Lounge in Parma, Ohio. Now, Today, our qualifiers are best of ones, so these teams really have to be at the top of their games. Today, we have our competing teams Cleveland State University Esport, Tempest, UST, Mafia Noise, and who am I missing? Beam Killers. So we will be doing best of ones. Whoever wins the bracket today will qualify for LSS, will get winter LSS tees for their team, and will also receive a Monster Energy prize pack so that they can be fueled by Monster just like we are. Now, I know that these teams are rearing to go, so I just want to briefly talk about the bounty system that we're introducing. So, whoever qualifies for LSS today will have a bounty placed on their head. If they come back and keep competing in these qualifying days and winning, they will win $25. However, if another team knocks them out of that first place spot, that team will win $25. So I'm really excited to see who the first bounty is going to be placed on today. And I know these teams are ready to go, and I know our casters are ready to be back on the desk. So without further ado, Diddy and Trifold, take it away.
Welcome back, everybody, to the LSS. This is Season 2 and Day 1 of the Qualifiers. I'm Diddy.
And I'm Trifolge.
And after a brief delay, we are excited to get back on the Rifts and into Season 2, which I'm extremely hyped about. I cannot wait to see these teams duking it out on the Rift with the new items. There's so much to talk about, so much to speculate
I know.
about.
I think we're going to be in a scenario where we're talking a lot about the items because, as we talked about before, I'm totally in the dark with the items. I know about the mythic items. I don't really know what's good and what's not, and I don't know the turn that the meta's taken due to these item changes. I know that's the biggest impact is what champions are good in their roles and such. But I know you've been grinding, so I'll let you take it away on that front. But I'm excited to see, how the turnout is going to be for these games with the new items.
The games I think are going to be crazy. Games have been like pretty wild, and in terms of the meta, I've been trying to stay on top of it, but it changes every day, as we all know. And what it looks to me like is a lot of Sunfire abusers. There's a new name. It's like
I've seen some memes.
yeah, it's kind of like Sunfire tank meta again, right? So if you have like two main tanks, you kind of just want to stick out team fights, fight over Drakes, and there's a ton of 5v5s going on. Teams just lining up at Drake and just smashing their team comps together and seeing who wins. And a lot of the time, it's whoever has more Sunfire tanks on their team is gonna win that team fight.
Yeah.
So if you're not abusing that system, then you have to find creative ways around it. One of those ways would be like Kale, for example. She's like giga busted on this patch. You get 2 items on her and you absolutely one tap. Another way around the Sunfire tank is the new Rage Blade, which is definitely an exploitable item on a couple of marksmen that can rush it, like Ashe or I'm sorry, not Ashe, like Vayne or Kog'Maw.
So are those choices like Vayne and Kog'Maw are top tier right now, or how is the meta for these AD items? When you're talking about tank items like Sunfire being so good, like how are you going to get through those? Are ADs in a rough spot right now with this new patch, or people are still just trying to figure it out?
People are still just trying to figure it out, and the best ADs in solo queue meta are still like the Ashe Jhin heavy utility. Ashe can build Rage Blade, so Ashe is kind of on top. Jhin can build the new Eclipse, the lethality item, which is insane. So Jhin is probably the highest priority marksman. Then Ashe, who has a very versatile build path. But no, ADs are in a fine spot. They just need their teams to peel around them. Their items can burn through the tanks. It's just more about if they get suffocated, they will die. These tanks deal a ton of damage and are hard to take down, but with a concerted team effort, you can do it.
Yeah, and we're kind of in a scenario right now where, as far as like competitive gameplay goes in these new patches, like we're pretty early on. We haven't really seen any pro play. There's been some stuff going on online, smaller tournaments. EG did the one that you casted for. So like we're still at the forefront of this new meta and like how the competitive scene is going to shift with it.
And we haven't seen any really like pro play, especially in North America yet. And so it's until the pros go on and kind of show us what they've been cooking up, the different regions, if we can ever see them clash at an international
It's all just kind of like a
tournament.
melting pot right now.
It
Like,
absolutely is, and there's some nerfs coming into things like Kale. Some of the mage mythics in the mid lane are getting nerfed, so mages are still in a good spot. Victor
that's
is
good.
one I should mention. Victor is extremely broken right now, and yeah, just tons of switch ups.
Yeah, and so a quick update because of the way the game did start this morning, we are missing champ select for the game we're about to hop into. So I think if we're ready, we can go ahead and hop right into game now, and we can go ahead and start the replay. Oh, so we are on this pause now. So we could chat a little bit because I don't remember how long this lasts for, but this is so let's talk about the comps now when we get a chance. So we do see
Yeah.
Kale for CSU in the top lane. You were just saying she's like giga busted right now.
Yeah, Kayla is absolutely giga broken. This champ should not be let through champ select, and if she is, then you need to be aware of her 2-item spike here. She will go probably a Naster's Tooth and a Rift Maker, which deals true damage over long periods of time, and the Naster's is just nasty on hit, and Kayla's just really overtuned, so she's a walking win condition and perma wave player. Another thing on Kale, if the enemy team takes an inhib early in the game, it's totally fine. Kale can kill super minion waves like their normal waves, so you have so much wave clear and late game scaling just in the kill pick, as we see both teams on the bot half of the map possibly looking to scrap here early. I like the team with the Nautilus for this, especially because we see Cleveland State a bit more split, so I wonder if this early game invade is going to result in anything. Another champion we're talking about is Samira, so while I mentioned, oh, wait a second, Akinar will be locked up by the hook, forced to take W, flashes away, no flash to follow.
That is great. The fact that he gets out there is good. Yeah, okay, the flash is down, but it could have been worse.
It could absolutely have been worse, and I'm surprised there wasn't a flash follow and an ignite by any of those players, but they'll go ahead and take that recon flash and maybe revisit in the next 5 minutes, as we see the junglers here both starting on the bot halves of the map.
So let's take a little more of a look into these comps while we get the chance, since we didn't get champ select. Victor, like you said, is really strong right now in the meta. Is that due to the mythics or due to the changes that happen to Victor? If I'm not mistaken, they did make changes for Victor, such as like the way his Hex Tech passive works. Yep, but I'm not exactly sure. If you could explain that to us a little bit.
Yeah, that's definitely it. Just removing the gate on Victor of having to buy that Hex Core and upgrade it and everything. Now he can go ahead and, as we do see a level 2 gank from the Jarvan here, we'll get the flash from Victor. Definitely very important because he can revisit that now for a pretty reliable gank.
Yeah.
But yeah, just not having to build that Hex Core item I think was the biggest thing for Victor, and he's able to rush a Mythic if he wants. And now we see Orianna putting on the pain but taking that turret shot, so bit of a trade there. And yeah, it's also the items try. It's both because the Rift Maker is really
here we
good
go.
on Victor.
Another little trade, a good hook from Nautilus onto OG Mudkip here. I do like the Xayah Rakan combo, but again, like I don't know where that stands in the meta here. Versus something like Nautilus, because right, Nautilus is just going to build the Sunfire, and once he's hitting that point, when he gets that hook on you, you're going to be in trouble from his combo lockdowns with his shield passive. Well, he's got Sunfire going on you, he's going to smash hard.
Oh yeah, it's going to smack, and the more meta bot lane is definitely the Samira Nautilus. Samira has, as we see, Jarvan visiting top, scrapping it out with Cool Arrow in the top lane, but no kill as a result. So Kayla's just chilling. Yeah, Samira I haven't talked about yet, but she's still broken enough that she can completely take over a game and randomly pentakill with her ult that resets for insane healing and her synergy with the shield bow here. As we see a visit from Nidalee now in the mid lane, coming to help out the Victor.
Yeah, nice little fancy footwork there by Orianna, dodging the spear pretty clean. Gets out and then tries to take a little trade damage on Nidalee before she walks away, so nothing. Oh, here we see Jarvan coming in here. Here comes his flash. He knows that Victor doesn't have flash, and it looks like it's going to be a kill over to Orianna for first blood.
Both flashes here from jungler mid. It's because they got the Victor flash earlier. They knew that was a fruitful play.
Oh, okay. And Nidalee coming back. She says, "Nuh-uh, you ain't getting my mid laner for free."
Nidalee with the trade kill back onto the Jarvan will even things up, and now it's a battle of the wave state. Who could fix their wave and get a crash here? I think Nidalee can win this with double buffs, but it's not like he wants to dive turrets. Spear will land. He goes for it with a flash, and it's enough.
And he gets it.
Trade.
Woo! I was thinking to myself, whoa, that is greedy. But I don't know. What do you think there? Worth to take the trade kill on the Orianna there?
Yeah, definitely worth. The most important thing is the wave state. So Victor gets a crash now from that, and now he gets a bounce back to him, and he can safely farm those minions without the threat of Jarvan. If Nidalee were to just walk away there, Orianna could maybe set a free, but you see Jarvan returns.
We are watching a absolute fiesta take place in the mid lane in the first 4 minutes here.
And Nidalee running straight back to mid. There was no crash, so Nidalee needed... Oh, Nidalee died. Yeah, Victor needed to clear that wave and get a bounce before Jarvan showed up. But Jarvan too eager on the play. And
He recognized that immediately and made his way right back to mid lane to punish the push.
As we see Shen taking out the Kayle here. That's a matchup where Kayle, before she gets her range form, is quite weak, especially in the lane with Shen. If he lands a taunt, you're getting chunked, and you can never really box that champion as Kayle. So you really need to just stick out for late game on that champion. She is Giga busted, but that doesn't mean you could just take her in the lane and bully.
Yeah, needs to play the long game here, down in farm, but that doesn't mean it's over. And we see here Nidalee jumped over the wall, maybe going to get a pickup on Jarvan while he's clearing his camps.
And does.
Okay, but now she's going to get pinned. Oh, but it hits the Krug, and now she's going to be able to make that escape because Orianna walked into try, so he does have a way out here.
Yeah, Nidalee, an extremely nimble champion, and she's so versatile because of her mobility. She can get around walls easily. She can get out of danger pretty easily, and a great pickup from 0976 here on the Nidalee with all three of Cleveland State's early game kills. Definitely a champion they can look to play around, as she will spike pretty hard on her first mythic. I'm wondering what it'll be, and I'm hoping it's going to be a Ludens, but I'm not too sure what 0976 will build.
Yeah, I'm glad to see the play working out the way it did. It looked like they were going to get she was going to get collapsed on there. Orianna was on her way down. The bot lane was coming in. But Orianna pushed a little too far over towards the bot lane, giving her the way out, going around the red buff camp and into mid from there.
We see the gold is in the favor of TE so far here.
Another hook going down on Akernar and taking like half HP from a quick hook. Wow.
Yeah.
I don't even... Was that the damage from Samira?
Yeah, so
chunks that hard?
When Nautilus tags anyone with CC, Samira gets to... I think it's similar to the Ivern.
So it's like now that her auto pulls her towards them after a CC ability.
And probably some bonus damage on top of it from the Samira. Not to mention Nautilus, after a hook, can auto and then reset it with a W empowered auto into an E. So Nautilus alone can really chunk ADs to half health. And is better yet with a Samira with them.
We see Nautilus making his way down. I think he's going to get this hook here on... okay. Not going for anything. I think he recognized Nidalee was on her way down. Didn't want to make any too drastic plays where he could get caught in a 3v2 situation. If we take a look at the CS right now, we're pretty even across the board. Even in the top lane, which is surprising, we are fairly close in farm here. We do see CSU taking the dragon, but it looks like it's going to end up going over to TE because they were chunked and have to back out.
Yeah, Shockwave missed, but we see Jarvan with the answer play. They know Nidalee's on Dragon, right? So Jarvan is able to take this 2v1, but Red Team will go ahead and trade over the Drake and possibly look to fight, as we see Nidalee here kind of in control of this river situation, will execute the Nautilus and is off to a great start. And good job by Cleveland State here securing that Drake with the numbers advantage, but if your cool arrow and your wave is bouncing, you need to be aware of the presence of Jarvan on the opposite side of the map. If Jarvan is not at Drake, that should be a warning sign for you as well.
You know, we lost vision of Drake as we looked up at top lane for the play. But it looked like, you know, CSU was going to have to back off the dragon because they were low in a 3v2, and that maybe TE was going to close it out and take the dragon. But luckily for CSU, I'm assuming Victor showed up and they took the play from there and ended up securing dragon. We see another play playing out here. J4 going in on Victor, getting a huge chunk. Victor looks like he's about to go down to J4, but maybe... Okay.
Nidalee kills the Jarvan and wins the situation. Just the power of this Nidalee pick here. She'll have the execute damage on the Shen as well. He probably will go down. I don't... Well, spear misses.
Yeah. Needed that spear to hit for the execute. But this play looks like it's going to result in a Rift Herald, which is great for the side of CSU. We take a look in the bot lane here. They're just getting a push going. Looks like maybe they'll crash and reset. I'm not sure. Try and take a couple plates.
Yeah, but this is a bona fide 2v1 right here. They could look to dive the Zaya, but if she is level 6, she could just ulti to safety. We see a bit of a contest. Shen'Al comes in. Shockwave will hit Kale. Kale is under pressure. 0976 on the Nidalee looking to execute. Blue team will steal. Nidalee has to flash over the wall, and they will have to give that Herald over. A great response play by TE with the Shen ulti, sending members in to contest that play. And now Cleveland State have to split objectives, Cloud Drake for Herald, instead of getting both. As we see Rakan with the counter engage in bot lane, Mudkip looking to put the damage down. Nautilus forced to walk away, and as Samira ramping there, they Cleveland State's bot lane did not want to continue. Nothing to come out of that play. Pretty even game so far here. Nidalee with all 5 kills for Cleveland State. Kill gold spread across the top side of TE. We have ourselves a banger here. For
we do. It's only about a 900 gold lead here with a Dragon for CSU, but Rift Herald for TE. So, like you said, a pretty close game, and I'm excited to see how it plays out here. Nidalee, with all the gold and the kills, really going to have to perform here in the mid to late game to take those kills and make an impact with it for her team. But like I said, with the new items and whatnot, what is the state of Nidalee right now for mid to late?
I think Nidalee is a bit harder to pull off, but once you get this, kill lead that they have, as we see a 2v2 breakout with Jarvan engaging on Nidalee, she gets the Kale heal and the Kale ulti, but is forced to run away right into the arms of Orianna, who will take that shutdown, and they'll look to press on Kale, who has no ulti, is forced to flash and able to get away. I think Nidalee is harder to pull off in this meta with so many tanks going around, but what I was saying is if you can get the lead that 0976 has gotten, it is doable. You see he has the Night Harvester. His mythic is completed. He's the first champion in the game with a mythic, so eyes on him.
So explain to us the Night Harvester a little bit, because I would assume I'm not the only one who is still lacking the full understanding of the new items.
Sure, the Night Harvester gives you bonus damage on abilities landing, I think maybe just on champions, and a bit of move speed. As we see Shockwave hit mid into the Jarvan EQ, that's a dead Victor. He will go down. Orianna off to the races here with the help of the Jarvan. But Night Harvester basically just bonus damage and move speed on abilities hitting. So the Nidalee spear hit, 0976 will get some move speed as well, but it's not enough to deal with these two champions here.
Yeah, at the very least, she does get the Herald, so not going to lose tower here off of the kill they got on Victor, which is great. We do see J4 looking to clear some wards in the river. He's about half HP, but it's not a good scenario for them to be trying to make any sort of plays in. Shen ult looks like it's coming up here in, maybe the next 10 seconds. And
a really nice Jarvan EQ into Shen taunt. Will dive mid lane and kill the Nidalee that was there just covering for XP. Nidalee too low of HP, not enough mana, and no flash. Makes that a pretty easy play. And this Jarvan has been incredibly active, not only setting up his Orianna, but chaining CC with the other members of his team to lock down 3 kills.
So we see J4 here making his way into bot. Probably going to try and make... Okay, I was going to say, he's going to try and make a play off that hook. Hook misses, luckily, and no play is going to be made. He's making his way back into... Oh, he's coming back for more. I'm guessing, here they're really looking to get their bot lane out of bot lane at this point in the game, making their way into taking these dragons in bot tower and get the team, or get the bot lane moved into another lane.
Yeah, that could be ideal for them.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, big spear damage here with the Night Harvester. Kind of says no to that Drake thing.
Yeah. On a Nautilus, too.
Damage. And looks like TE will just disengage from the Drake. And yeah, you want to get your bot lane out of there, but when you have an Orianna that is on her mythic now spiking super hard, there's actually no problem in keeping the Ori mid with a really nice wave clear. If you're giving her blue buff, she can kind of hold it down. If anything, if the Samira Nautilus were to take bot turret, they would maybe want to rotate into top lane and look to get that outer as well. If you have such a strong piece in this Orianna here in the mid, you don't need to remove that too early in the game. You see another Drake start here from TE. Cleveland State will have to suss it out quickly.
Yeah, so this is the sneaky Drake here, but it looks like they are going to get vision of it here, and J4 might have to just dip. Oh, here comes in the Shen ult. Going in with the ulti, getting... Oh, boy, this is going to play out to be a good fight for TE, taking out Rakan there.
Yeah,
They're looking for more. They may get Xayah here. Shen is pushing towards Xayah.
And the Samira ulti damage heals through the Nidalee damage, and it's just a complete wipe for the side of TE. We still have a Shenton here on the Xayah, who probably was not even participating in that fight.
No, the whole entire time Shen had her zoned all the way into the back of the jungle, which is kind of what I was focusing on as Samira was picking up kills.
And the Jarvan engage here, we're seeing the reliability of the Shen ulti along with the Jarvan engage. Just the pull trigger, you have a Nautilus as well and the Orianna. Too many engage tools for champions like Victor and Italy to really play around. They have to be a bit more careful with those skill shots here. TE drafting much more reliable CC in their draft than Cleveland State, and it's starting to show when we have these Drake fights here. Gold's pretty close, but it just seems like TE can pick the targets easily, target focus, and win the fights.
Yeah, we're at about a 5K gold lead, and Nidalee now 5-4, so kind of losing her lead here, but we still have the hopes of Kayle. She could go into that late game and become
just
how Kayle is really
force.
supposed to be played.
Just a force.
So we'll see how that plays out.
It's absolutely crazy as we see Aknar going in, knocking up the Nautilus. They're going to take a 2v2, but the TP comes in. They'll disengage it. Samira with the re-engage, looking to get some damage down. Will drop ult. Aknar jumping in front of the Naut hook here.
Stopwatch.
Using stopwatch. A bit of tricks here from Aknar, and they will get the shutdown. Goes to Xayah.
And the emote spam, the mastery spam here, level 7. Here comes Victor, though.
Victor a bit late, but really well played by the Cleveland State bot lane to finagle their way out of the TP and even secure themselves a kill. That was some quick moves here from Aknar on the Rakan to salvage a play here for Cleveland State. And we see Kayle is pressing. This is a 2v2 situation as of right now. Nidalee able to just hop the safety. Do they look for the combo? Jarvan gets speed from the Orianna. Will EQR? Shockwave forces the flash of the Nidalee.
Great flash, though. Getting out just in time so she doesn't give up a kill there. Maybe J4 and Orianna are going to look for Herald here now that they know Nidalee has no flash. But we do see the CSU bot lane making their way into mid. So if there is something going on at Herald here, it's not going to be a even fight for TE. Shen still does not have ult and no TP now, so.
That's right, in the mid game starting to look like it's going to the side of TE, but you still have the pieces you mentioned, Tri, that are really important. That's Victor and Kayle both get really crazy once they complete their second item. We see Kayle working on finishing her first. That's going to be a Rift Maker. This gives you bonus true damage in extended fights. Percent health true damage that ramps over time, so Kayle can get hitting when she's, 11 plus with that AoE auto attack, can absolutely shred teams. You add an Asterisk to that, and she just randomly starts two-tapping everybody. It's really crazy. So
I'm excited to see. I'm feeling a bit rusty here as we watch. I'm taking a look at the list of items. I'm not recognizing items. I need to, get my book out and do a little bit of studying this week.
Definitely. I mean, a lot of change. A lot of players, when they first see the new items, are completely thrown off and just, I think, a bit afraid of change, right? Like, oh my God, these icons look silly and this and that, but I like it. It's really exciting adapting to a new meta, and this is like the most volatile.
I agree. I think the thing that keeps League of Legends alive for this long is the fact that they make yearly change that impacts the way the game is played, like the dragon changes, like the map changes, such as like the alcove and the way it changes around the dragons. What was it? Season of the Elements was what the last one was.
That's season 9,
I think those changes are great for the longevity of League of Legends, and if they weren't making those changes, like these item changes, the game would not survive as long as it has.
Yeah, the way they change it's crazy, and this change to every item in the game is so unique because it affected every role simultaneously. A lot of the map changes and jungle changes, junglers have had their roles changed heavy like once per year, every year, but now it's every role. As we see a 3v2, a gank from Nidalee, but no reliable engage. You only have Rakan to set that up, so you walk at them, they just walk away. Simple as that. You have no play. You need engage tools there. You need Rakan to pull the trigger, or there is no play. See a counter siege here from blue team. That's TE. Shen with ulti available shortly or available now.
Yeah, I think they're just going to take this tower and walk off for free, not no need for Shen ulti. Dragon is up in 35 seconds, so I would assume they're going to hang around here. They will have Shen ulti for that. And that's going to be a scenario where, I don't know, does CSU just give that up? Or they need all 5 members there and ready, knowing that Shen can get there at any chance?
Right, it's one of those two options. You either give or you're there on time. And a lot of people probably argue to go ahead and give this, maybe deal with the Herald here so you don't get double bopped and let your Kale farm, let your Victor farm a bit. But we'll have to see if Cleveland State fancies a contest. I don't think they win it. And there's pressure coming in top, but no problem for Kale. If I was Kale there, I've been playing a lot of Kale. If I'm Kale, I want them to take my inhib as early as possible so I can farm super waves and hit my level 16.
As soon as possible. So
yeah.
like letting them get those towers down, getting the shove. Tower doesn't go down there even to Herald, so.
Yeah, that's right. And it's not always great to give inhib, right? Because if the other team can use that pressure as a tool to get them more, then it's bad news. But in solo queue, I should say, I'm like, yeah, go ahead, take my inhib. As we see Shen taunt land, shows a good trade, but Kale can heal that back. She has Rift Maker now. Completely can wipe waves and heal perma. So she's going to have a big shove on the Shen, who probably can't realistically deal with her without help. As I say that, she takes 2 turret shots, but still she wins this. Kale wins this with ulti and the damage that comes through and the healing. As we see Jarvan engage on Nidalee, who's forced to retreat away from her camp. There is no flash. She will go down. Shen licking his wounds, looking for a recall, and the members of Cleveland State are here to back up their Kale, but they just lost their Nidalee. They lost control of top of red side quadrant, and it looks like the play is going to be in the favor of TE, and they'll have some options here on where to move next. Yeah,
it seems like the choice they made there was to send everybody to help Kale to get the Shen, because it looked like maybe Kale, after those tower shots, was going to go down. They all get there too late, leaving their top jungle completely exposed, and in return, they get the kill on Nidalee and, you know, some pressure on this mid tower.
Yeah. Cleveland State should be able to clear this out with the Victor, no problem. But the Nauthook will land. He's going in. He's under turret. He's forced to flash out. The Shockwave will hit the Victor. He flashes. Jarvan engages to follow up. There's some heals coming in from Nidalee, and the Xayah will shut down Jarvan. Do they look to advance at all? Nidalee's spear will be blocked out by the Samira W. There's a Kale TP coming in. Ooh. I think Kale might still have ulti. I'm not
Shen
too
ulti
sure.
coming in as well.
Oh, good dodge from the taunt. Kulero is free firing on the Shen. They can take Shen down. Overtime here, but I think he can escape.
So does he? If they get the slow and a Nidalee spear on Shen here, it may be trouble, but I don't know if I would go this deep. Don't dive that tower.
They want to just siege here. Low HP bars on the members of TE, and some dead members means tier 2 mid turret going over to Cleveland State. And what do you know, the moment they group as 5 together with a great Kale TP flank, they do get a winning situation. The only thing is they lack engaged tools to follow up their plays. They need to play more zone and less for picks and less running into the enemy jungle. But great job by Cleveland State evening the game up a bit, as we see the gold difference is only 2K, and you have a Kale here.
Yeah, the play that they just made with taking the towers as well as getting those kills brought the gold back up, and now it's, like you said, only a 2K difference here. Xayah securing the scuttle, having a flash and ult away from J4 there. I don't know if that was overkill, the flash and ult.
You can't float over the wall with your R, so just flash was probably the best bet. So yeah, it's overkill to ult there, but to flash because you got scuttle is definitely not worth it when you're Xayah and you just completed Essence Raven now, so your 2 items, you are very important in these.
Yeah, and now the next 5 minutes, no flash on Xayah, leaving them open. I mean, J4 ult is going to be up before then, and in the next team fight, you're going to be in trouble.
Definitely. There's no way to escape the Jarvan ult for Xayah. Her R. Oh, as we see Ekinar will engage in the mid lane. Almost a one-shot onto Samir. She will go down to the Victor. That's a shutdown. Another kill for Cleveland State. And the OG Mudkip will take down Nautilus as well. That's 2 for 0. Do they advance to Baron or do they keep looking for kills? I think they turn Baron. Where is the Kale? They need Kale damage here on this Baron.
Kale.
Here is Kulero. Kulero will kill this Baron very quickly. And it should go over to Cleveland State with an epic turnaround. This game was looking absolutely grim for them. And so here comes the contest. It's the Jarvan. He will EQ in, gets multiple members. The Kale ulti comes out. It's a battle for the Drake. Shockwave will get 2 That's 2 for 0 already for TE as the Cataclysm comes out. Baron is firing on everybody. Kale will go down, and that's their damage. They are out of damage sources other than Victor. Orianna will kill the Victor now, and they are able to successfully 3v5.
J4 ready for that prediction on the blast plant, and unfortunately, I don't think they can take Baron here, or can they? Okay, we do see Nautilus coming in, and it looks like Baron is probably going to go over to TE unless CSU has the time to get there. And
they need a Victor teleport on spawn here because they're going to do it slow enough to that Victor could probably show up. There's a ward right over, or Nidalee trap right over the wall. He could show up and try and poke him off it. Look how slow this is going down. Yeah. They will get this eventually, but Cleveland State does have time to respond.
What he needs to do, he needs to be very careful of the TP as well, because the Jarvan EQ over the wall onto him will then, in response, give
Nidalee?
Samira the chance to get over as well.
Nidalee with the spear landing is looking to get interrupted from the Nautilus. They have Ori to zone, and it absolutely one-taps the Nidalee. Baron goes down to TE. That was some disgusting damage.
Yeah, wow.
From Orianna, who is sitting on 3 items. That is a Ludens into Morello death cap in Season 11. Goodbye, Nidalee. And we see this, the power of the Orianna Jarvan here in the teamfight situation. The moment Cleveland State grouped on Drake, they were 5v3 and went down to that nasty combo.
Yeah, unbelievable the damage that we just saw come out there from Orianna. I mean, she is 8-1-7 with 3 completed items now. So with mages being in a decent point, like you said, I'm assuming control mage, like Orianna, pretty similar to Victor, is in the same area right now where they are doing well, or
yeah, mages are doing well in competitive. Mages have kind of lost their footing in solo queue because the games are so fast, and yeah, basically because of assassins. But when it comes to the 5v5 play, and you have the coordination like we see from this Jarvan and Orianna, yeah, you want your wave clear in the mid. You're happy to build Ludens in Morello Deathcap. That seems to be a fine build. Victor in a great spot as well. So we see the mages facing off. It's just it's just such a clear combo, the Jarvan Orianna, compared to the Victor and the Nidalee, who do things have been doing things in this game on their own, but have not really comboed together necessarily.
Yeah, they don't necessarily have the best setup. You know, the Cataclysm with Ori, you don't even need Orianna if there's a Cataclysm and they're in there and you get the EQW from Ori, then, sorry, the QW. You bring that all back.
Oh,
you don't even need the R. That combo, one-shot Victor or whoever, one-shot Nidalee, you don't even need the ult.
Yeah, pretty nuts combo here, and we see Kale can deal with these Baron minions pretty freely here. Is working on our second item. The 4-man unit in the mid doing the same, so they're pressuring Baron in 2 lanes, TE right now. We'll have to see if they ever split 3, or if they pull the trigger, but Cleveland State's comp operates best when TE is engaging. We see a Shen taunt land. Kale, I think, does win this over time. As we see some of this Rift Maker damage coming out, Shen will flash. I think Cool Arrow is happy to just take that, possibly even re-engage. There's no siege to be had mid, so TE looking at options. I think diving this Kale, they're going to full rotate to the Kale now. Cool Arrow, I believe, is aware, can float down the river, and now we have a top red side jungle situation. The Jarvan will go in. The Nautilus hook lands, and Akranar is absolutely exploded. Here comes the Cataclysm. The Samira diving in past the turret wall. Will 1v3 drop that ulti? That's
the triple
a double
kill.
for the Samira, a double for the Orianna, and that's 4 down because Kale was out of position and had to float down the river there. They took that opportunity to strike, and now we get to see a bit of the Samira. So TE showing us a lot of the new season.
We don't see here because it's focusing us top lane, but Kale is taking mid tower and now pushing on to inhibitor tower in the mid lane. She was going to back during that play, but once TE engaged onto CSU in the jungle, she decided to stay and push. But now, I don't know, is she overstaying? Okay, here comes a TP into mid, so she's going to back up.
Yeah, it was a nice move from Kale to salvage that completely losing fight and turn it into a trade of some sort. She'll get that tier 2 in the mid and also force the TP out. So that's really good. Cleveland State can look to make a move here. They will engage onto the Jarvan, who is caught out over the wall. Goes down to OG Mudkip. Akranar looking to follow up. But
Orianna's in the bot jungle, so this is a good time for them to continue chasing and looking for this play. Kale and Shen are in the river, but
Their tools to chase are just awful for the team comp of
Oh,
Cleveland
and now
State.
Kale is in a terrible spot, but she's going to drop the ulti, and maybe this is a good turn for Cleveland State here.
It could be if Claire can get out
Oh,
with
the
a
big
three-man
three-man.
shockwave. That's pretty big. Cleveland State able to survive that, and will walk away as 5, taking out the Jarvan, defending their base. I believe defending inhibitor and keeping the game alive for Kale to continue scaling, and not to mention Victor as well. And the OG Mudkip is silently staying focused in this game on the Xayah 4-2 and 3 scoreline, working on that third item here. Cleveland State with a realistic chance, but I see 3 Drakes already stacked up for TE in 4th here. Mountain Soul is going to be in 1 minute. We'll have to see what item completions can come through before this. Kale has completed Nashers. Ring the alarm.
And I'm not going to lie, that Orianna is looking pretty damn intimidating right now at a 10-1-9 scoreline for their first game in the League Saturday Series qualifiers. What a good way to show up and perform at your best and make it, get a good name for yourself coming into the league.
TE coming in hot and loud here. But yeah, the Orianna has picked up a whole Void Staff since we last checked in with her try. That's absolutely scary. Kale needs to 1v9 this game as we see the Shenton comes over, will miss.
No fear from TE here, just making aggressive plays. Shen eating over the wall into the team, not worried that he didn't have his team there to back it up, but I guess that play in general threatens that, hey, if I'm not scared, you better be, because that means I've got people behind me.
And they zone him away from Soul. It's going to be completely free going over the side of TE. Is it a Baron trade? Baron's not up for 22 seconds, so it's just a give. If any champion can cut through that mountain, it is Kale. I keep talking about it, but when you're Cleveland State and you're giving over Soul, that's kind of your last hope here.
Yeah, and we do see Kale is at level 15 now, so we are getting close to that 16 mark, and then that'll be their chance to take their scaling comp and make some plays. But they're now almost 10k gold, about 8k gold behind, and Dragon Soul. So
yeah, the gold lead has exploded here in the last 5 minutes from about 25 to 31, and TE can look to Baron. They could have Shen in the side lane splitting with ulti ready. They can make it so that Cleveland State doesn't have many options other than to just walk into them where they can freely engage. We'll have to see how Cleveland State lines up and what they do.
Yeah, TE starting Baron here. CSU does have vision from that Oracle lens, or the Vision Ward.
So it has to be the Rakan making the play. That's the only real playmaker here for Cleveland State. The rest of them have decent forms of disengage, but as far as locking one member down to focus as a target, it's got to be Rakan. I'm looking at his flash, I believe is up. Rakan has Smite as we see Jarvan flash EQ, a big Cataclysm. Where is the Shockwave? They're able to disengage. The Cleveland State bot lane is running another EQ from Jarvan as he persists. We see Shen watch the taunt. The OG Mudkip was ready for it. He can dodge the taunt with his RF he needs, and we see a disengage peel back to Baron for TE, who still has many options.
Classic J4 move there, going a little bit too deep. The team is not there to follow up. If you had played that a bit slower, maybe CSU gets away, but if you land that ult with Orianna in range, you're definitely getting the double kill. I don't even know who he Cataclysm there, but it would have been a double. So now they're on Baron with no J4 ult, and CSU pulling up.
And Rakan has Smite. Rakan and Italy both have Smite. They need to go over the wall very soon and look to steal this. Cleveland State, do you have it? Rakan will go. The Baron goes over to Jarvan. Rakan helps the Nidalee in the fight over the wall. Shockwave hits the Xayah. She instantly falls, and this is just a
Kale
wipe.
is here, and she's smacking, though. Oh, but she's going to go down to Shen.
Kale was smacking, but she's in the middle of like 9 members in the game. That's just not where you can beat a Free Fire as Kale. We see Victor peeling off, will flash away from the Cataclysm. Shen looking to persist with a taunt. Can he find it? Victor getting the move speed, able to retreat. The Victor needs to stay alive in order to wave clear, but TE could look to press here.
So we do. They have Baron minions. If they can take mid here, we might be looking at a double inhib Baron off of the play. Oh, triple inhib maybe even.
Yeah, they're going full court press here, making it so that Cleveland State can't realistically deal with everybody with too many members down. But them taking inhibitors against Kale, I'm a broken record now, kind of doesn't matter that much.
Oh, for her to be getting that.
Oh,
I mean, she is
nasty burst The Nidalee 0976 is picking a fight with that Oriana, who is almost 6 items and gets completely deleted off the rip. Not the worst time to die for Nidalee, because TE is going to be looking to reset anyway while she's dead, but still just another display of that Oriana damage.
Yeah, Oriana now 11, 1, and 12. And not to throw Nidalee under the bus here, but we did see, she was starting off the game at 5 and 1, now 6 and 9. So, like I was bringing up before, the mid to late game on Nidalee, difficult to navigate. And we're
Absolutely.
seeing the difficulty right now, especially with this Nautilus J4 Shen, like we said, with the tanks being so big right now.
That's right.
It is hard to get through those front lines, especially when the way Nidalee is played, you need to hit that spear so you can get the engage for execute. And that's difficult to do if you have these 3 big meatballs tanking those spears as they come at the team.
That's right. And one thing we can be certain of is there's a power creep, a damage creep. Everybody's doing more damage now. So if you're Nidalee and you make one slight mistake, you explode this season, making it a very difficult pick to navigate, as we see
A
Aknar.
hook landing on Victor
Master
here.
Wolf, who has to. Zanya's and get out. There's a re-engage from Akranar, who will get one tap. And there's the Cataclysm again. There's no shockwave yet. The Mudkip is just completely pressed in that Cataclysm. Another hook will land, but it's just the engage. The Nautilus Jarvan engage is too much for Cleveland State to handle. They're not
So,
properly.
in my book, this is looking like a game here, but we'll see. They, like you said, they do have the Kale. If she can clear this, potentially they have a chance, but with Baron and 2 inhibs down, it looks like it's going to be game.
It's gonna be game over. I don't see a way. Cleveland State holds on here. Kalera with the ulti will hit multi-members. He'll heal some back.
Just not enough damage for that Shen.
And absolutely sandwiched.
Wow, and what a performance by TE. The first we've seen them here in the LSS, and they came out and performed exquisitely.
Exquisitely is a great word for it. Try coming up with a great showing. Maybe season 11 is TE's season. Maybe they emerge from our day 1 of qualifiers as the new team to join the LSS. That would be hype, but I know we have some fierce competitors on the other side of the bracket that we'll talk about shortly. But just wrapping that game up, I think for Cleveland State, a great early game Nidalee performance, some solid Xayah. It felt like Xayah was the most calm on the team here. Able to stay in the game for a long time.
Playing for the farm, not really making anything too crazy, keeping those deaths low, trying to play for late. To me, it was the Oriana just scaled out of control. Huge damage from her. Like in multiple scenarios, we were seeing like one-shot combos come out from Oriana.
And that's kind of how this new season works, right? Somebody gets ahead and starts one-tapping people, whether it's the Victor, the Kale, the Oriana in this case.
Yep.
Could have been the Samira can go in and pentakill. Somebody gets out of control and kind of makes it unplayable for the enemy team. And there's so many new champions that have this capacity of taking a game over and one-tapping. And I think what Cleveland State did not draft themselves anyways back into the game if they were to fall behind.
Their only option there was the Kale, and I think that wasn't enough. I think they needed the Kale plus some like reliable crowd control things like that to really give them the chance to come back into that game.
Yeah, if you're gonna draft Kale, do you absolutely need a Victor on the same team? They sort of perform similar functions. When you draft those two on the same team, it's kind of 2 points of attack for the opposing team. Do we want to punish the Victor who's immobile and weak early, or the Kale who is immobile and weak early?
Yeah.
They went with the Victor. They got their Ori ahead. Shen was fine in lane, and there was no comeback way for Cleveland State to get back into the game. As we turn towards our next face-off try, do we know who's battling up next?
Yeah, we're going to be seeing the Tempest versus the Bean Killers.
Ooh, the Bean Killers. Let me say something about...
Oh, okay. So we do have an update. The Bean Killers signed up under the wrong name. And they are Mad City.
Mad City?
Mad City.
Okay.
So we do have Mad City versus Tempest right now. And like you said, we have seen these teams Mad Killers participating in other leagues on Battlefy. So they are a veteran team with a good roundabout of players who all have experience competing in amateur leagues together.
That's right.
Which, depending on their matchup, Tempest, I don't know much about them. Then we're looking at a pretty good balanced matchup here.
So it's Tempest against Mad City now, the Bean
Yes.
Killers, but they are now Mad City. Yeah, so Mad City, I see these guys registering for Battlefight tournaments like every week. They're a very active team. They seem to just sign up for everything, and they saw this on Battlefight and said, "Why not jump in?" And I love it. I'm happy to see them play. They are fairly high ranked, higher ranked than Tempest or Cleveland State, two teams we just saw. And I think
Okay, give us a little like what kind of ranks are we seeing on Mad City here?
I think Mad City is a mid-diamond team with
Okay.
maybe a D1 or 2 in there, D2s, some D3s. And I think they just beat the team they just beat had a Masters player on it, plus some other pieces that
Oh,
look
okay.
like maybe
Yeah.
one Masters player, maybe 2 diamonds, maybe a gold and a plat, right? So it's probably an even game on the top of the bracket. But Mad City coming out ahead, possibly because of this experience that we talk about. They seem to just be registering for everything they
Whatever
can
they
find.
can.
Exactly.
Any experience that they can put under their belt is worth it
Yeah.
to them. And I think that's like when you're going to see, when we talk about teams in season 1 of the LSS and you see a team like Miami University absolutely dominated. Yeah, they had high-ranking players on their team, but they've also been together competing and performing well as a team for multiple seasons.
Right. Right.
Well, maybe I shouldn't say multiple seasons of League of Legends, but for at least a few semesters of university.
Yeah.
Meaning that they had a lot more experience playing as a team than some of the other teams that participated.
Sure.
And that is very important when it comes to League of Legends.
It's massive, Chai. That's a great point. The reason Miami can stick out above the other teams in the season 1 is probably because of their experience. Well, we see Mad City. How much experience do they have? Where are they from? I want to know what states are they from all over the country.
Yeah, let us know in the chat, guys. If any
friends?
Mad City guys are out here watching, let us know.
Yeah,
so we
and
can shout you out where you're from.
I'm super excited to see them take this stage and go up against Tempest, who are just coming off that win. And I wonder if Mad City was watching Tempest's game and kind of has an idea. Okay, maybe we don't let the Jarvan Orianna through.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Hey, if I were them, I would be doing that exact thing right now because
Probably.
I'm not gonna lie, that shit was scary.
It definitely was. And Chai, I want to bring up something we haven't talked about at all at 1Life2Play, and that's the proving grounds. So Riot is doing all kinds of stuff to kind of like chisel out or create a pathway for amateur players to get onto the pro scene. And it starts with Proving Grounds. Proving Grounds is a series of play that's, going to be, you go to Scouting Grounds after Proving Grounds. I think it's something like that. But the way to get there is you need to win Tier 2 tournaments. And then if you win those, you qualify for Tier 1 tournaments, and then you qualify up to the top. So there's going to be a pipeline, a real...
Sounds like they're copying our shit.
Real pipeline, a real pipeline of competitive play. So for Mad City, their goal should be, we need to make it into a Tier 2 tournament.
Yeah.
We need to make it into a Tier 1 tournament. And I think, we're not sanctioned or anything, but I think it could be a good start for us to get an eye on Mad City and see, can they climb the ranks?
Yes. So if they qualify, they're going to be put up against some of the top teams in collegiate in our area.
Right, exactly. And if they stack up, what if Mad City, well, they haven't won this game yet, and we're talking more about them. It could be Tempest as well. We're talking about Mad City, I think, because they're higher ranked, but Tempest as well. We don't know much about either of these teams. They could be an amateur team. We just saw they put on a show against Cleveland State, a university who has been practicing. Can they continue this? And will the team that emerges from this be a contender in the league? That's what I'm really excited about.
Yeah, I'm excited to see. That's the great part about qualifiers. Depending on the day, you could just have an insane team making it in, or a so-so
Like
team making it in.
yeah,
Because you don't know. Depending on who signs up for that day of qualifiers, next week, every single team could be bronze and gold.
Yeah.
And that means one of those teams is going to make it in with some of these other teams. We're going to end up having a whole mixture of stuff going on unless we're seeing lots of the same what am I trying to...
Like types of teams?
Yes, the same caliber of teams. Teams that are like... Because with Battlefy, it's like you can get a team thrown together, like me and my friends, to play some games, or you can get a serious amateur team or collegiate team that's there to participate as well.
That's right. And I don't know whether Tempest or Mad City, where they are in that spectrum of friends. They could just be buddies, like, oh, it's Saturday, like, let's just play on Saturdays. And they're, like, actually nasty.
Yeah.
Or they could be like, guys, let's make it to Proving Grounds. That's where I'm at. I want the teams that join this league to eventually get to the Proving Grounds. It's not exactly explicit, I think, yet, the pathway, but Riot is, like, instituting all these like new things, new ways, new competition for players. But I think we can pass it to maybe a break before game 2.
Yeah, we are waiting on Bro Draft. So
Oh
right
no,
now,
we're ready. I'm sorry. That's what I meant. We can.
Oh yeah, we're ready to go. I was just gonna say, while we're waiting on these teams to do Pro Draft before we get into Client Select, we could make sure you guys check out 1Life2Play.com/LSS. Check us out on Discord. We do all kinds of tournaments in the Discord, not only League of Legends stuff. It doesn't matter what game you play, you could probably find something in our Discord. So discord.me/1Life2Play. Make sure you join up. Check out some of the channels, see if there's anything that you guys are interested in. You can also find us on social media, 1Life2Play, across all platforms. Definitely check us out. We post regularly about events, what's going on in the lounge, what kind of stuff we're doing back here in our new setup in the studio. Definitely check that out, guys. We also, this is way out there. Now I'm going out on a limb, but the 1Life2Play studio just got a total renewal back here, redesign, and it looks amazing. You guys can check that out on YouTube and see our most recent Maincast podcast, which will show off the new studio.
You guys do podcasts too?
Yeah. And with that being said,
Whoa.
if you are at home and you've thought about having a podcast, reach out to 1Life2Play, because we do offer this space up for rent. It's an awesome space. We've got plenty of professional gear here, and you can set up a great podcast yourself using our equipment. And let me tell you, it's damn nice back here.
Podcast would be at.
Yeah. So as we're waiting to get into game here, any predictions? So I'm thinking we're definitely seeing the Jarvan and the Orianna ban.
Banned?
I think so. You don't think so? At least
what's crazy is those aren't actually like ban-worthy champions. It's just that they picked a combo that is reliable, and they just stuck it. Like, it hit hard.
So let's talk about what's actually ban-worthy now in this meta. Huh?
Amumu.
Amumu?
Yeah, watch out for watch out. Amumu is like Giga Broken S tier. He is played in competitive. He's picked and banned often. If not Amumu, I think you can go to Zac next. Zac is a really strong piece. Sejuani is just fine. The junglers that aren't Center Hulk junglers that are viable are Graves, Hecarim, maybe Echo could be a third.
All right, we're hopping into
We are
Champ
now
Select.
live in Champ Select, my favorite part of every game. And wait a second, Orianna instantly banned. So
Insta-ban on that.
they will take away the Orianna. Orianna, yeah, so Yone and Yasuo are ban-worthy champions because they abuse Rage Blade.
Okay.
We see a Lux taken out, so they're targeting that mid laner here. Kayn goes down. Red Kayn can deal with the tanky junglers that I was speaking about. There goes the Hecarim as well.
So I gotta say, I mean, the Orianna ban I just feel is like so obvious, because you just saw this team play for the first time. You don't know much about them, and wow, you just saw this Orianna go off like 11-1.
Yeah,
I think she was. I mean, impeccable gameplay from that. I definitely, if I'm them, I want to take that away. I don't really want to have to deal with that.
Sure.
It's just a scary thought.
Oh, definitely.
Because that's a champion that you regularly see in competitive, a reliable, team fight-oriented mage with wave clear.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
with a
It fits the
performance
bill.
like that.
It definitely fits the bill. I just think Victor is a better version of that. But if you just see the comfort of the Ori, you can go ahead and take it away and then pick Victor for yourself.
Yeah, and we see Impaled here grabbing the Victor, just like you were saying.
This is a run back of a pro draft, because you can tell they're picking in order, they're picking super fast, and so the first pick of the draft could have been the Victor there, and then it could have gone maybe like Graves and then their AD second, because Graves is very high in priority. We see Olaf is picked, so no Center Hulk in the jungle of this game. You see a Mumu ban second round here. It does come out because that champion is pretty gross. Ornn and Silas taken away.
Yeah, and we will see, I think we'll be able to weed out the pro draft later on as we get into the regular season and we get our regular drafting overlay set up. We did have some issues, minutes before with our drafting system. And I think, that's a great way to remove the using pro draft.
Samira Seraphine.
So, Seraphine is a little wild, right? She's not very good.
I don't think she is very good. I think she can scale into like you know, like an AoE healing enchanter, which can be very strong.
Mhm.
Her CC is super long range, and she is actually their best engage tool now. So if you're gonna pick an enchanter and you need some form of engage, Seraphine kind of can do that for you, because if you look, Samira, Victor, Olaf, Mordekaiser, how do they get on to these champions of the enemy team? I think the draft of TE is similar to that of Cleveland State's last draft. There's not many engage tools where you see there isn't that much engage on the map here for either team. You have Shen Taunt, you have Morgana binding into Kate Trap. So neither team with many engage tools. So I kind of do like the Seraphine in that regard, because if there's no one hard commit explosive fight and you have Seraphine to kind of heal your team up over time, you can win the
that's
long
where she's
extended
excelling at.
trades.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then, oh yeah, now we can go to a very quick break for spectator delay, so do not go anywhere. Get ready for this banger. The winner of this one game will advance into the LSS. Am I right?
Yes, if I'm correct, this is our
Double
final
checking.
game of the day, and we will be crowning a champion. They will be invited into Season 2 of LSS, and don't forget, we have bounties now. So the team that wins today will get a bounty on their head, meaning that if they participate in next week's tournament, whoever can take them out, if they can take them out, will win some prize money by taking the bounty. Pretty exciting stuff.
Very exciting stuff.
So, like Diddy said, we'll catch you back here in a few minutes after spectator delay.
You can use the Lulu to power up your carries.
And we see how Quinn hasn't committed to tier 2 boots. She can't go Tabbies or Mercs yet. I know she wants to rush her item, but it's because you have AD AP top. It has to happen. It has to be the Renekton. There is no other option.
Right.
But Troy, he understands this too.
Oh, and unfortunate for Flare Pie there. They just randomly found him in the jungle. That's just unfortunate for him. And here goes the Crowstorm. Finds the suppress and the ultimate from Troy 1 onto the Galio. They're just running around the map killing people now.
They are just running around the map, killing people. Keck, you nailed it on the head. That analysis is absolute fire.
Thank you. Thank you, Diddy.
I'm serious. Spot on with that analysis. And we see bounties on the top half. The half of the map that's supposed to be strong when you draft her in Renekton. Evelyn is just behind, and this Quinn pick is working out like a charm. Has flash, has cleanse, not going to be easy to kill. Cleave is just target practice here in bot lane. And Flarepire trying to, what is it called? Salvage this lane. And I'm not sure if that's the right play.
Oh, and the Blitz Plank hole onto the Lulu. Again, forcing her flash.
Go in, Samira,
Here
go
comes
crazy.
Samira, popping the ultimate, looking for a return kill. Galio teleporting down into this bot lane to stop Troy's roam, but Troy won. Maybe he's biting up more than he could. Haymaker does so much damage. He is now on a killing spree, and now IBN is going deep for the Caitlyn kill, and Galio's trying to get a return kill onto Troy 1 as well. But Samira does so much damage. The taunt shut down, double kill going over to Luigi Mash on this Galio here.
Luigi Mash, more like Luigi Bash for the double kill with the Galio passive auto. Great job, good punish, good being on the map by Galio. Great job here. We see this skirmish where...
Oh, but AD carry forgot that there was a Fiddlesticks in the game.
Bien goes a bit deep here, right, on Samira. Naturally, as a champion, kind of has to go in to give value, but puts her in between Galio and the tower and Lulu. And they're able to win out in that situation.
And here comes Lucen going for the tower dive onto Renekton. But even with the cleanse to get out of the stun, he's still going to die to the tower.
So you saw he E's. He gets the W on the E. I think if he insta-cleanses it, he could maybe run out of there. I think that was a bit slow, but Mama Big E is just eating.
Oh, and again, the team of Miami are just walking into the jungle, and they find Flare Pie. Unfortunately for him, the Galio is not fast.
Alright, and we are loaded onto the Rift. We are live for our championship game of the day 1 here of qualifiers for the League of Legends Saturday Series Season 2. The winner of this game will be invited into our league here, our Season 2. It's between TE and MC, Mad City and
Tempest.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm excited for this game.
Oh.
Wow.
And it's an ARAM in the bot lane
Yeah.
already. We see Morgana biting land, and they're just going at it here. Olaf going to pick up an axe. We'll start autoing down the Ziggs. This is hilarious.
Talk about a brawl. I was totally, I was like, I felt dumbfounded once that binding hit, and I realized, wait, all 5 members of each team are here ready to brawl.
This is totally Earth style, but without the cooldowns. We have to see. Let's watch recalls here. Who can get away? Everybody gets away. Pretty funny. I would have loved to see a ball out.
Yeah,
1v5
just
right
5v5
there.
level 1 right there.
Why not just send it, flip the game right then and there? I would have liked the Kate Morgana team. Well, the Morgana team, period. I think if you could find someone. As we see Samira gets hit by binding here. Into the Kate Q will land. Samira is in trouble and will drop to the Morgana Ignite before anything even spawns.
Ooh, not sure about that. I wasn't looking for like 1 second. I'm assuming she went in to place that ward and then got caught with the binding. Not a great start for Mad City here, but definitely not an end all. So
Definitely not, but the Morgana kind of on point with these bindings here. We see once Kate gets level 2, well, she'll have to go trap. Once Kate gets trapped, those Morgana bindings are going to be extremely lethal. Let's see if they push for 2 and look for a
Samira
combo.
in a weird spot here. I'm surprised that we didn't see the Morgana binding coming out right there.
She just hit a minion with it.
Mm-hmm.
Have to wait on that cooldown. Now red bot lane will be looking to hit level 2 here and probably press up, look for a binding. If Kate gets level 2 and levels trapped, she can put the trap right under the binding as we see a bit of a gank top here from the Graves. But Mordekaiser are doing a good job weaving in and out, staying behind the minions, but will drop in the 2v1. Mordekaiser, a champion that cannot really escape that situation too easily, will fall down and a trade kill. I'm sorry, another kill going over to Tempest. Tempest, 2-kill lead already. Binding goes wide to start this trade. Samira will engage onto the Kate, who's now forced to heal. They turn back the damage, and the Samira will take down the Kate, looking for more healing with that Conqueror fully stacked.
What?
The heal comes in last second from Samira.
Samira right there looking absolutely dominating. I'm assuming the heals from Seraphine is what really kept that play alive, but what a shocking turn of events after what we've seen happen in the bot lane.
Watch the Samira heal. She's so patient with it. Flashes in, exhausting the remaining. Remember, healing with Conqueror. And then
Right
the last
there.
second, the Summoner heal comes out, securing the double that Samira completely smurfed. And we might see on display this game a Samira breaking the game, because that champion can still bust games wide open.
Yeah. I'm excited to see where it turns. I mean, and
here's the
another
return.
play going here. Can she get away from this? How
so.
in the world did they get back to lane that quickly?
They are just on spawn, on site.
Yeah. Oh,
on
and the
command,
flash
and Morgana
binding!
with the flash binding, the double down to Kate. There's a 2v2 in the mid lane. Olaf is terrifying here. Graves will have to run away and is forced to flash.
Wow, I think this game is going to be action-packed, and I'm excited to see it
Definitely.
play out.
I hope it's like an epically close game, too. Baron steals all that.
Yeah, give it to us, boys.
It's already a slugfest here. Mordekaiser with the bounce, with the push lane. Graves on his side of the map. And we'll have to see if the bot lane of TE will stick around until they die. Oh no, they reset and they're on their way back to lane. And I think we just need to patiently wait until bot lane is back in lane.
So something from last game that I saw Samira do that I'm wondering if we're going to see plays happening like this in this game as well. Season 1, we had that game where I think it was Miami. Samira got the pentakill, correct?
Binding lands in the trap here. I think they're going to pull this combo off clean and the
Yeah,
whole up.
yeah.
Sorry, Trey, what were you saying?
It's all good. The play from Samira where she got the penta, diving over the wall into In-Him Tower. We saw that exact same play out in the last game.
That's right.
But it just ended up being a double for her and a double for Ori. It's just shocking to see how well these dive plays play out in a 5v5, and Samira has ult going, and she is extremely intimidating in a scenario like that.
Yeah, she is. If you have a really great Samira player, you can just play it and then hope that she can patiently stack her ulti, wait for the right moment to strike, and then go in. She's a reset champion. You can think of her like Katarina on NXT, right? As soon as she gets one takedown or kill, well, I don't know if takedown actually counts for this, but I think it does. She resets her E, so if she's ulting and kills someone, she can dash while she's ulting.
Yeah.
and then kill another, then dash, 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 while her ult is healing her for insane amounts. And she does really well with the new items. I think she's going to go an Immortal Shield bow, which, when she gets low, is going to give her a Fatty Shield and some lifesteal. As a really nice Dark Binding, I'm sorry, Black Shield will prevent the Samira lockup, or the Seraphine lockup. These new champions and the new names and everything, man.
Yeah.
Tough to keep track of.
Now imagine being a beginner. Imagine if you were picking up League of Legends for the first time right now and you had to keep track of all. You had to learn all of this stuff right now. Whew.
I would get a coach. For sure.
Hashtag Diddy.
Alright, I think bot lane maybe calm down a bit here. Just kind of bouncing waves here, a little bit of trading, looking for a binding on Seraphine, will able to dodge that one. And what is going to be the next point of contention try? Is it going to be Drake? As we see Olaf, I think is on Drake right now.
Yeah, it is Mountain Drake, and it does look like he is taking it. If we take a look,
Graves
we can
is
even
just
get a
leaving
better
base.
look here on our mini-map. Whoa, look at that.
Whoa.
So Morgana trying to get some vision on what's going on, and that binding actually is hitting hard. But
Houston
probably
Morgana has a problem here. I think. Oh no, the Ziggs farm will save the Morgana bursting, but we see the Samira comes in and answers, killing the Morgana, making it a 1-for-1.
need to turn and help your Seraphine.
As the fight continues, Seraphine looking to stack her
We see
ulti.
Mordekaiser TP coming in as well.
Yeah,
Oh,
we
this
do.
is an all-out brawl.
The focus is going to be the Mordekaiser here, but wait, Graves takes out Seraphine. The fight is continuing. We see Victor is under pressure here in the Seraphine. Is she level 5 right now? She does not even have ulti. She's just slinging her bullets right now. The fight extends. Shen look for more. The taunt will land on Mordekaiser, but that's it as he looks to now disengage. Ziggs throwing bombs. That one goes wide. The chase persists. I'm looking at Caitlyn now. They're going to finish Victor here. And
Are they gonna
trade
turn?
for
Oh.
Shen as well. It's a 2v3 now. Morgana made it back.
This
Ziggs-
fight has been going for so long.
Ziggs with red buff just wins this. Mordekaiser will drop eventually a double to Ziggs, who's now 3-0. Ziggs and Kate are both online.
Oh, you need to be careful here. If she gets picked by a stun, she's definitely going to go down.
In that fight, Morgana died early and was able to walk all the way back into the fight and be there, which is not the first time.
No, yeah,
Morgana
that
has done that.
That was an all-out brawl there. I would have gotten a replay, but let me tell you, that definitely lasted longer than our replay system is set up for. And we see them going in on Kate, but she's going to flash out.
Yeah, and that was a tricky fight to call, and at the end of the day, it was the trade of kills that went in the favor of, one more time, Tempest. Against Mad City here. I think on paper Mad City is the favorites, but Tempest out to a great start. We just saw them put on a show against Cleveland State, so they are hot. They are warmed up, ready to go. It's going to be, I think, eyes on Samira here. She's off to, she's up almost 30 farm here.
Yeah, 3-1, 30 farm. Going to be a menace. I'm excited to see. We also have the Victor is up a little bit of farm on Ziggs, but Ziggs is now 3-0 after picking up some kills in that brawl.
Taunt lands on Olaf here. Ziggs looking to burst the Olaf before he can heal back, and that's Shen killing Olaf, I think. Harold is going to go over to red team now, and that's another win for Tempest.
So what are we seeing happen here? I think maybe Olaf is getting a little bit too anxious on grabbing these objectives solo, trying to sneak them, and both times now been caught out while trying to take first Dragon and second Herald.
You know what's a really big issue for Olaf? He can't just stand there and hit people and heal because of the Ziggs. Ziggs will drop ult on his face and chuck a Q and an E while he's at it and offer you like 600 burst damage. And Olaf can't just stand there and heal on the Shen like he normally would because of that Ziggs answer. So yeah, Try, you're definitely right. He's a bit over-eager, looking to solo out every objective. As we see a duel in the bot lane, Samira just clapping the Caitlyn here. Mordekaiser will ulti Shen and try and turn this. I think Mord can win this. Needs to land that Q, does. But when he gets out of the Death Realm, oh, the Graves
He needed it. Was 1 second away from being a trade there.
It was.
Unfortunate for Mad City, but like we said, still not over. Only a 1K gold lead for Tempest here, even though they are ahead in kills. So we will see how this game plays out. You know, you look at this kills, you see 6-11, and you think, wow, Tempest is smashing. But in reality, game is still fairly close right now.
Definitely.
And we shouldn't be counting anybody out.
No, and games can turn on the drop of a dime nowadays, Trifolds. It's just one fight, someone can burst you, which you didn't expect their damage, and get a shutdown, and then that wins them the fight, gets them an objective. What do you know, the game is flipped on its head. We saw Cleveland State almost turn the game when they were down a few thousand here. As Binding will hit, forcing the ulti from Olaf, who will now chase after the Morgana, but he gets tagged up by the Caitlyn ulti and drops to the Morgana here as we see Graves persisting, chasing the Samira. No way to really continue this unless Binding hits it, misses. Samira goes in, will shut down the Graves. Will she continue? We see the Noodles fighting in the top lane. Mordekaiser wins this the longer it goes.
It did pull us away from that, but I was thinking, oh, maybe we're going to see a Samira pop-off right there.
Yeah, I was looking like
I wasn't sure, but directed camera, they know what's going to happen, and by switching into the top, we can just assume that they did back out here. Samira got chunked, and now we have Seraphine just trying to clear a wave, defend this tower a little bit.
And Samira just picked up the Immortal Shield bow. She is on Berserker Greaves as well, so this champion has the Mythic before anyone else on the map. Typically, I believe Samira is a champion where you kind of chill in lane and you just wait for your moment, right? And it could be in the
like
2v2. Yeah, like a Vayne. She's not the strongest in lane, pretty short range, and has to risk her life to do a lot.
Yeah, so leaving laning phase at 5-1. I mean, laning phase isn't even over. 5-1, up 30 farm. Like
That's
you
impressive.
said, finishing the first mythic item, this is where she needs to take that lead and really pressure to take the game away. You know, take the game from where it's at now and snowball to the win.
Definitely. We see Ziggs assaulting on the Olaf, who's trying to run away, but the Graves damage is going to be too much. Ziggs under a threat is forced to Zanya's, and here comes Samira Victor here to absolutely clean up. Morgana will be fleeing.
Morgana's definitely going to go down here to the Samira, and that is another 2 kills. 1 kill for Samira and a double kill for Victor.
She's still looking as the Victor
man.
deletes the Caitlyn. We saw Caitlyn was able to trade onto the Seraphine, but it doesn't matter. It's going to be objective going over to Mad City, and the Samira is now starting to take over the game, and Victor appearing in this game as a force here, as he is now 4-1-3, farming on curve as well, as we see Shen trying to flash the Mordekaiser Q. He wants this fight, but as he's getting hit by the more passive, he will eventually win.
2 Qs. Mordekaiser missed 2 Qs there to some fancy footwork by Shen, and if those 2 Qs hit, he won that fight. Well played by Shen,
Yeah,
picking up a kill for Tempest.
really well played by Shen to flash the Q that you're saying Try would have resulted in his death. I think you're right here with the Conquer healing, the extra damage it would have done. Everybody making plays out here.
So Samira in bot lane by herself, confidently pushing up against 2v1.
Oh, that is some Victor damage on
And here
Graves.
comes Olaf. Flash coming out by Graves. Olaf hit that Zig, boy.
Target switch to Ziggs, who will flash but still get rooted by the
Nice.
Seraphine. That range is really long, and now we see Samira here able to take out Morgana. The Mordekaiser TP comes to help with the Kate, and I think the TE's team is low-key falling apart here.
Yeah, was Mordekaiser TP necessary there?
I doubt it. I think Samira
Yeah.
would have just cleaned both of them up.
I think so as well. So now we're looking at a 1K gold lead for Mad City. Turning this game around, 7-1 on Samira, 5-1 on Victor. Samira working on her second item, Victor just completing his Ludens. And man, these two are strong, and it looks like if they can keep snowballing like they are now, the game is heading in their favor. So let's see if Tempest can take some trades here. I'm thinking Graves right now is top lane. We have Dragon coming up in 3 minutes. Should they be all focusing down in this spot side jungle to respond to Mad City, or?
Well, you're playing into what Mad City wants to do. As Samira jumps in 1v3, what is this? The W gets a lot. The healing coming in. She's ignited and gets through that. What?
Wow, almost taking down 2 members right there in a 1v3. One more item, and that maybe have gone in her favor.
And Try, if she gets one member, she gets a reset on her E, and I bet you they're all dead. She was ignited during that and still healing out of control. A bit of a limit test here out of Samira.
Yeah, I was going to say, displaying extreme confidence in that play.
That's right. Hopping over the wall, 1v3 just to flex. I like it. But yeah, try now that the Samira has gone down. It's still another 220 for Drake. So the Eyes of Graves is he's still on the top side quadrant. I don't know if he's just farming or if he wants to play away from Mad City and into the top lane. Maybe take down that tier 1 would be a chunk of gold for a couple members here. As we see a possible collapse here. The taunt will miss on an Olaf, who turns immediately onto the Graves, who could probably burst his way out, but the Seraphine tags him so that they will trade now. Mordekaiser has Shen in the Death Realm. I think Shen will drop right here, and who's going to win the fight?
Surprise,
The Victor
Victor's
also
here.
will tap the Morgana, but he gets traded. This might be a fight for Red Team. Watch the Caitlyn here as Ziggs will drop soon. There's nowhere to run. He's zigging, he's zagging, but Caitlyn comes in with the trade kill.
Oh,
The
and he
ward
gets her.
hook will land, but he hits a trap.
Oh, needs to just let her go. I was thinking after the hook landed, it was all good to go, and Mordekaiser was going to pick up that kill, but unfortunately steps on a trap. We see Samira down in the bot lane taking blue buff.
That was a good fight for TE here. They were able to trade 4 for 3, and that sounds like they lost it, but they're actually getting shutdowns. They're actually getting kills here, winning situations.
Yep. Still only a 2K gold lead for Mad City. So,
right.
Like we said before, it may look like we have the Samira and Victor going absolutely crazy, but at the same time, the game is still fairly close.
Yeah, and I should point out about Samira, for anyone who doesn't know, her W blocks projectiles, right? So that is massive for the Morgana binding, most importantly. Any Graves damage, any Ziggs damage coming in that would crucially burst her, she can use W, and she goes Bloodthirster second try. Keep an eye on Samira here. Bloodthirster now has crit in it, so it's a viable second item. It usually comes in third.
Okay, yeah, so now so 2 items completed as well as boots. What boots does she have there?
Berserkers.
Okay.
Attack speed here. And it's going to be the Samira Victor versus, I mean, Graves has his mythic completed, if I'm not mistaken.
Dragon coming up in 25. Both teams making their way down to bot river here. Oh, and a double. How does that binding work there? You have to hit 2 for it to stun? Or?
Yeah, yep.
Okay.
2 have to land. And then it will stun. We see Olaf engaging onto the Ziggs, who can bop himself away as we see Red Team dropping to the Samira. There's her W, but she is hit by CC, but it doesn't matter. Olaf can still clean up that Ziggs. And Blue Team is advancing with huge burst coming from the Victor. And that is how it's done in Season 11 on the Victor. Too much damage.
Now making their way over to Dragon, going to get a free Ocean Drake here. While they're doing that, we can take a look at the replay for this fight that just took place.
So the threat of Samira...
Ha, just kidding.
Oh, no replay? Okay. the threat of the Samira kind of herded them like cattle into the Victor AoE, and it was just a brutal display of those 2 champions being broken. And those are meta-defining champions, Samira and Victor. Caitlyn, not so much. I think the Graves on the side of TE is their abusable piece. He's just not getting off to
I think
start.
If you look here, both junglers not really being as impactful as they could be. So letting the the laners take away this game here. Oh, we see Graves coming up on Mordekaiser, and definitely going to get a kill here.
I think so, unless Mortis... Oh, no, Mordekaiser. Oh, my goodness. I hate Mordekaiser. He has Riftmaker here, as you can see. That's his mythic. When he gets you in that Death Realm and pops that shield, you thought you were going to kill him, but he is just burning you down, healing a ton. As we see continuation here, Samira just lighting that Ziggs up. There's nothing he can do other than run. She is looking to advance that play.
This is her. She says, I'm getting these kills.
Oh, the autos is enough at this point. Shen with a pretty big taunt under tower into a Ziggs ulti. That was a
and surprise, defense. Olaf is here to pick up the Ziggs as he's trying to make his way back to safety.
And it's not even 20 minutes, and Mad City is making it look dangerous to be at your tier 2 top right now.
Agreed, and I think we're getting to the point where we're saying, oh, the game is not that far off, but as they are completing these second and third items, and we have 3 dragons now on the side of Mad City, and now we're hitting about a 7K gold lead, so it's looking pretty intimidating for Tempest.
Definitely. They need to land like a Morgana binding onto somebody that they just explode for free, and then 5v4. That's
they need to look at baiting out the Samira.
Victor damage. That is a lot of Victor damage, which means Olaf can just run at Cade, who flashes with the Shen on her, putting Shen over the wall. They will look to advance on a. Watch out for Victor if you run into that tunnel here. The Kato just secure the kill. Now it's a 5v4. I think
they still win this.
Tempest will go in with the taunt. And where is the Graves? Look at the Seraphine ulti. Gets multi-members into the Samira will go in with ulti. Not to mention Victor DPSing here. Another round of cooldowns and Shen will go down. But a big taunt. He will take back the Seraphine as well. And both members are really low. Victor will win this with move speed.
Now we see Samira said, let Victor deal with that. I'm going for tower. And this looks like if we see cooldowns, respawns are coming up, but I don't think she's going to be able to get this inhib. I think the play might be to just back out.
We'll have to see. And getting inhib might not even be the best thing to do here, but she's kind of sticking in. No, will walk away. And we see Mordekaiser also putting a bit of damage down on the bot lane turret. So,
Ocean Soul up. Ocean Soul up in 2 minutes. Baron's up right now. For Mad City here, I'm thinking the focus needs to be on obtaining that soul, but they do have some time to plan that out.
Definitely, but you don't want to get baited by, well, yeah, you do. Definitely go take the soul if you're Mad City.
Yeah, I'm thinking they win a 5v5 at in River. Mad City's definitely taking the fight. I think for Tempest, the state of the game is going to rely on making the right plays at the right time and not taking a 5v5 team fight.
That's right. Something like if that binding were to hit with the Graves here. Graves not backing his Morgana up. The Victor one tap. Morgana looking for another binding, but probably dies just for that look as Victor walking kind of in his Ziggs damage will miss the death ray there. Graves not on the same page as his Morgana there. They could have maybe put some damage on Victor, but maybe Graves.
Morgana needs to get out of here.
Oh, impales Morgana there with a laser. That can't be a great feeling. As we see Graves here now. Look,
oh my! I just can't believe this Victor damage.
Yeah. Yeah, Victor's
wow.
mega busted.
12 and 2 on Victor right here. Impale just absolutely popping off.
So we see a bit of an engage on the Ziggs, who's forced to just hop away. And Victor's making Ziggs look very balanced here because Victor is just his raw power, the fact that he can build into these items right away. So well-rounded that doing a ton of damage. He's not afraid of anybody. He will take a chunk here as we see Olaf versus Caitlyn under turret. Caitlyn will survive with a sliver of health, and now it's a 5v4. Good Ziggs damage over the top. This could be a winning fight for Tempest as they advance into the Mordekaiser, who's a low-key a brick wall here, and Samira.
Samira's just off to the side, though, full HP.
She's going to 1v3 here. She's looking to go in. Mordekaiser with the 1v2 on the bottom front here as they fall back to their bot lane turret. Mordekaiser will get Morgana. I think you live with that if you're Tempest. And here comes the Samira under turret. Will get hit by taunt. Will she drop to the Kate damage? It's not enough. Her shield bow and the Samira will save her. She can do whatever she wants. Victor with big pressure here. I think Tempest members can go heal and maybe put up another fight. Ziggs with massive wave clear here means they probably can't end. Ziggs should just one-shot this wave. Where's the Ziggs ability?
Here he
comes, to kill this wave.
I don't think it's going to be enough.
Caitlyn with the counter fire here on the Samira. She outranges her, but she failed to space her. Samira closes the gap and
this is game. This is game. Victor
Kate.
just TP'd into base, and now they're. Oh my God!
Gets one tap by Victor here. Ziggs still there. Ziggs is not there. Every time.
Oh.
Okay.
I can't believe it. This is the first time I've seen Victor doing this with the new items.
Whoa, will Samira 1v9 this? Look at that healing. That's what Bloodthirster second will get you. They just can't deal with her. Graves did not get off.
Mad City here, definitely closing out the game.
Mad City, where are you from?
Yeah, dominating performance from this team.
Wait. It's not over.
They want more action. They said, hey, Dragon Soul's up.
One more item. And now Victor could probably build out a Void Staff here, but who knows with these new items what they're going to go for. But surprising they didn't actually just stick the end, but here come Ziggs TP. Soul does go over. Man, Olaf hits by the binding into a taunt, but now he's unstoppable. He's looking to run down the Morgana, but here comes Kate ulti for the execute. That's a 1-for-0. They will now turn to Mordekaiser, who has Caitlyn, I believe that is in the, no, that's Graves in the death realm here. He chases him down and kills him, but that's a trade, so 2 for 2.
I think that's all they need to
yeah, but
win
it
this
wasn't
fight.
Samira Victor. Watch Samira and Victor and Seraphine. This 3-man can actually 3v5, and I think they're going to want to. Samira has been limit testing a bit this game. I wonder if she'll continue. Gets hit by Binding. There's no Kate Trap to follow up. And that could have been Tempest's moment to strike, but for what? They would have needed to go straight to Baron after their first 2 kills to really continue that play at all, and they don't. I think their eyes are on cleaning up their base, which, you know, you got to understand that as well. We'll have to see if they could put up another couple picks. They've found success picking this Olaf. It seems that if they catch him with anything, even if he ulties and tries to run him down, the Ziggs damage and the Kate damage can come from a screen away to burst him. And if they can pick him out, make it a 5v4.
Yeah, how is Olaf in this new meta? It seems like he's struggling a bit.
I haven't seen him much.
Yeah, it seems like he's struggling a bit to get past the damage threats of Tempest.
And they tried focusing Samira. She has no W. Now is the time to look to hit her with something. A binding on Samira here could result in a kill. You see big Victor pressure can half health Shen with 1 combo. That is absurd. Here comes the press. There's nobody from Mad City in the top lane. It's just kind of it's a 2-3 split mid lane and bot lane here. Here comes possible 5v5. Olaf running in under turret. Here comes the engage. The Shen will go down onto the Kate, and they just take Olaf out right away. It's a 5v4, but can they win it? The taunt will land onto Mordekaiser. There's no damage to follow up. Ziggs and Kate still alive.
Victor just lands 1 E and just absolutely shreds their backline. They got to back off and heal. I still think without Olaf, they can close this game out here.
I think so too, but Victor stepped up a bit far there. The Ziggs ulti will take him down to about 30% HP, but can they take the turret? Morgana
doesn't matter though.
We'll go in with the binding onto multi-members. There's no Shen on. Victor just makes Morgana disappear. Graves is back, but Victor is just 1v9ing. This is just gross damage here. And you know what, Try? This is why these games are so volatile.
If you ask me, Victor permaban list.
Yeah,
unbelievable. I cannot believe that damage is just crazy.
He's one of the champions we talked about, right, Try? And
yeah.
It's so often in these games, as we see, they're just toying with their food now. BMing the Nexus here, trying to get fountain kills. Ziggs tossing everything he can. But this new season makes not only the game so volatile, but draft so volatile. You let Victor through. We saw Victor last game for Cleveland State did not look like this. So you can see the stark difference. Just because you pick the OP champion doesn't mean you're going to get the results. But Victor, a champion who has emerged as Giga broken, and look at that. Mad City now qualifies for the League Saturday Series. I hope to see you guys in our league. Please join us.
Yeah, me too. I am excited. Congratulations over to them. Man, what a performance, though, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Good performances from both teams. The game before that, we saw, was it Tempest? The previous game performed extremely well on the same picks. Samira was a great pick for them.
Yeah.
The game before, they didn't get that pick this game, and we saw Victor and Samira just doing so much that game. And I want to bring this up so I can see. I'm trying to get a peek at some of the damage numbers and stuff.
Oh, that would be
curiosity's sake.
That would be nerdgasm there.
Yeah.
To see that damage.
Yeah. So definitely awesome game there to watch. I'm excited to see these guys come back and participate in the future of LSS. Hopefully, remember guys, you do now have a bounty on your head. Make sure you come back each week and participate.
You mean a gold bounty, Zach?
Pretty much. Basically, you have an in real life gold bounty for taking that game away. Make sure you guys, even though you've qualified, come back next week for the next qualifier. Still participate, get the practice, get some good gaming hours in, and keep that bounty. Show everybody who's the boss.
What happens if Mad City comes back and wins the qualifiers? Try.
If Mad City comes back and wins qualifiers
next week,
the second place team will receive the invite to Season 2 of the LSS.
That's right.
But Mad City will retain their bounty and, somebody will have to come back in week 3 and take it away from them.
Definitely. Yeah, just wanted to clear that up. And then last thing I wanted to touch on, Try, was in this season when champions hit their item breakpoints 2, 3 before anyone else, there's so many champs that are liable to break the game open. Just like Victor, just like Samir. There are many more out there, and there are many builds yet to be discovered.
Yeah.
And then there's changes happening. Like Victor's his items are gonna be nerfed a little bit. Who will emerge now? We're gonna see a lot of surprising damage resulting in crazy games.
Like that Victor's gonna be nerfed.
Yeah.
There's no way that is allowed in the
both
game.
Of his
that is crazy.
Riftmaker, Lichbane are both getting nerfed, I think, soon because Kale as well builds Riftmaker. So a lot of these AP items in the mid are getting nerfed pretty heavily.
Is Kale played mid right now?
She can be, yeah. Just because she's so broken.
Yeah, awesome games today. What a thrill to watch those. I'm excited to be back on the desk with you. I'm excited that LSS is going again because I was definitely missing some of that competitive League of Legends in my life. I hope you guys are excited for it to be back as well. We are going to go ahead and hand it over to our wonderful Holy Boxer so she can close this out for today, and we will see you guys next week.
All right, thank you guys so much for the wonderful casting on the desk. Thank you everyone who participated today. That is League Saturday Series Season 2 Qualifiers Day 1 done. Congratulations to Mad City. Good luck because you have a bounty on your head now. So if you guys decide to come back next week, I hope you can kind of figure out how to win that qualifier again. Like Diddy and Trifold were just saying, if you come back and try to beat Mad City and they still win, but you come in second, you do qualify for LSS Season 2. I also wanted to say congratulations to Mad City for winning our Winter LSS shirts, which you can find on our shop at 1Life2Play.com/shop. The shirts are so cool and representative of Season 2. They're only $22. Look at that shirt. Our winter logo, long sleeve, that beautiful ice blue color. I love it. I can't wait to get my hands on one. I think I have a connection, so I think I can talk to somebody. Again, congratulations to Mad City. Anybody watching who is not signed up for qualifiers yet, you still have time on Battlefy. We have 3 more weeks of qualifiers before we get into our regular season play, and we will be bringing back 8 teams. So we have 3 more chances for 3 more teams to get in, and then we'll also, I don't know if we're still having last chance qualifiers, but we'll get to that. So again, congratulations to Mad City. Thank you everyone for watching, and from everybody here at 1Life2Play, we'll see you next week.
Enough. And they're trying to steal away the red buff, but the team of York doesn't want to give it away for free. Oh, and the Crowstorm. Crowstorm finds no. Oh, but the Blitzcrank hook pulls the Caitlyn into the Crowstorm. Exhaust going on to Mayamo Big D here. It's going to be a shutdown going over to Laser King's Caitlyn. But here's Troy 1 looking for more damage, but he's going to walk straight into a trap.
I'll say it, Keck. I'm going to call him out.
And Laser King secures the red buff.
How? With what? Oh,
with the Peacemaker.
This was a disrespectful Crowstorm with no setup, and it gets punished. Great job, York University.
And now we look at here. Galio's a bit too far up. Justice Punch trying to get out. Hey, Showstopper's going to bring him back. Oh, and now we look at bot lane action. Evelyn getting a kill onto this The Blitzcrank.
Bien.
But Samir's going in with the ultimate. Kaylin's running away
He
from
can do it
Lulu.
again.
Here comes the 1v3, but unfortunately, not able to find the mark. But Aelira's double buff transfer complete.
And this is a Bloodthirster rush.
Oh, but here comes Lucent. Gets the kill onto Lulu. These double buffs are not going anywhere. They want to just, I mean, they're going everywhere.
This Fiesta style game, oh my god.
Oh, and here comes Maad with the Crowstorm onto the Renekton here, but he's under the dirt, forces the Dominus. He's running for his life, and Maad is just taunting him, but the Blade of the Ruin King comes through, stun coming as well. Oh, he's forcing the stopwatch, the Zhonya's, and he's still chasing down him. Here comes the